The CDC's recommendation to avoid all non-essential travel to South Korea forces Appleton-based Old Glory honor flight into a heartbreaking decision. You saw it first through our push alert. Jeff Alexander explains how Old Glory's planned return to Korea is now canceled.
Jerry Seminar admits it's been a tough day.
Disappointing. I was geared up for it.
As he struggles to hold back the tears.
All the fellas that I wanted to represent in Kewaunee County and Luxembourg.
Seminar and 49 other Northeast Wisconsin Korean War vets received notice last night from Old Glory Honor Flight their trip to South Korea this summer is canceled due to fear over the coronavirus and the safety of the veterans, their guardians, and Honor Flight staff.
Very disappointed. We really wanted to take these guys back to Korea. At the end of the day, it's really about supporting them, giving them the trip that they so richly deserve.
While heartbroken over not going, Seminar says he understands the decision.
I didn't want to bring the sickness back, the virus back to Kewaunee or Luxembourg. I myself, it would make no difference, but the other people, I wouldn't want to spread that around.
At 87 years old, Seminar says it's hard to fathom a dream late in life won't come true.
Who would ever thought that was going to happen? You know, it just blows my mind, but I was all set and I got all my physicals and I had all my shots. Everything's all done, passport. So all I had to do is have Ma throw me out of the house and all the village of Luxembourg could celebrate. I was gone for 10 days.
While the trip is officially canceled, there remains a sliver of hope.
It's really going to depend on the way things work with the CDC as well as the Korean government. If they say, hey, we've got the funding for the revisit program, come on over later this fall, we will certainly do everything we can to get these men there, if it's safe and if it's possible.
Jeff Alexander, Action 2 News, Luxembourg.
The village of Luxembourg is mourning the loss of one of the true pillars in the community. As we first reported yesterday, lifelong resident and Korean War veteran Jerry Seminar passed away Monday at the age of 87 due to the coronavirus. Today, Jeff Alexander talked with one of Seminar's sons about his father's passing and his legacy.
When we caught up with Jerry Seminar last fall, he was celebrating his birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Jerry.
And signing up for an honor flight to Korea with fellow Korean War vets.
And I think I should go.
Just 6 weeks ago, though, we found Jerry with tears in his eyes.
Disappointing. I was geared up for it.
After learning the trip was canceled.
All the fellas that I wanted to represent in Kewaunee County.
Because of the coronavirus, which he understood.
I didn't want to bring the sickness back, the virus back to Kewaunee or Luxembourg. I myself, it would make no difference, but the other people, I wouldn't want to spread that around.
And yet today, Luxembourg is grieving the loss of Jerry due to COVID-19.
He had excellent health. You know, he went out in the woods, he made wood, he helped us with maple syrup. You know, all of that. I mean, he's done the things that he's always done for many years. So it sucks that this little virus ended up taking his way, you know.
One of Jerry's 6 children, Dale Seminar, says his father's legacy is having a pulse on the community like no other.
If there was someone come into town from another country and started asking questions, I'll guarantee you that person who they're asking questions to, whether it's someone down at the other end of town, at the IGA, they send them, you know what, you want information, you go up and see Jerry Seminar.
Up until a few weeks ago, Jerry was a fixture inside his service station, next to the home he grew up in and surrounded by other Seminar businesses on the south end of town. For his family, funeral plans remain uncertain, and sadly, because of the virus, a service with military honors is unlikely.
Dad has been in the Legion Post 262 for his whole life. He's a life member. And I always remember him telling me that he buried a lot of his friends. So he went through and did a lot of those military funerals for all of his people that he knew through his whole life. You know, and the hard part is now is I don't know if he's going to be able to get that same respect as he's given to everybody else.
But he certainly will be remembered in this community as a very young 87-year-old man.
At 87 years old, you should be retired and relaxing. His relaxation was coming here and talking to customers. He enjoyed talking to people.
Jeff Alexander, Action 2 News, Luxembourg.
After passing away due to the COVID-19 back in mid-April, a Kewaunee County veteran finally received the military honor he deserves.
And tonight, Jeff Alexander takes us to the touching tribute in Luxembourg.
There's a reason why, despite tears and heavy hearts today in Luxembourg, there's at least a feeling of comfort. And that's because one of the sure things friends and family will always remember about Jerry Simonar's colorful, unique, and fulfilling life is the irony, sad irony, with how his final year of life unfolded.
Happy birthday, dear Jerry.
Celebrating his 87th birthday last fall with buddies he served with in Korea, Jerry was filled with intrigue and inspiration over the unexpected opportunity to return on an honor flight nearly 70 years later.
And I think I should go.
One of 52 Northeast Wisconsin Korean War vets selected to go, Jerry couldn't wait. But then the coronavirus hit. The trip was canceled, and Jerry felt really bad.
Disappointing. I was geared up for it. All the fellas that I wanted to represent in Kewaunee County.
Despite his disappointment, Jerry understood, caring, as he always did, about his hometown.
And I didn't want to bring the sickness back, the virus back to Kewaunee or Luxembourg. I myself, it would make no difference, but the other people, I wouldn't want to spread that around.
And yet just a few months later, on April 15th, Luxembourg grieved as Jerry passed away due to COVID-19. For the family, the hardest part, without question, was because of the pandemic shutdown, they couldn't have a funeral for Jerry with military honors until today.
And he's going to be buried only a couple hundred yards from where he was born. He was always right here in Luxembourg.
As a lifelong member of American Legion Post 262, Jerry led the efforts over the years to honor countless Kewaunee County veterans at their funerals.
Jerry was my sergeant of arms for 30 plus years. It's just an honor. He's a symbol of true patriotism.
Just down the street from the home he was born in, next to the service station he owned and worked at until the end, a fitting tribute and a proper send-off. Rest in peace, Jerry. Jeff Alexander, Action 2 News, Luxembourg.